Interesting facts about New Zealand. New Zealand is part of Zealandia, a 93% submerged continent. Until his disappearance in 1912, a dolphin named Populous Jack regularly guided ships in New Zealand through treacherous waters. Almost everywhere in the world, drug companies are prohibited from advertising to consumers. The United States and New Zealand are the only exceptions. Nancy Wake, a New Zealand-born Allied agent, was the Gestapo's most wanted person during World War II. Among her many exploits was killing an SS soldier with her bare hands in order to prevent him from raising the alarm during an undercover raid. If a person's BMI is too high, New Zealand will deny them a residency visa, and there have been cases of people being rejected because of their weight. The kiwi, a flightless bird, serves as the Royal New Zealand Air Force's logo. The beer consumed during The Hobbit filming was specially brewed by New Zealand brewers. It was called Sobering Thought, and it was a 1% dark stout. The Lord of the Rings trilogy cost approximately $200 million to film in New Zealand. In 1996, a man broke into a New Zealand radio station and held the manager hostage, demanding that the station play Kermit the Frog's Rainbow Connection non-stop. In an effort to demonstrate the intelligence of shelter dogs, 3 dogs in New Zealand were taught to drive a modified car around a racetrack. According to the 2001 New Zealand census, 53,715 people identified as Jedi. In an attempt to gain attention, Badminton New Zealand chose the nickname Blackhawks for their national teams in 2004. Sign language is one of New Zealand's 3 official languages. Humans have almost no natural enemies in New Zealand, as opposed to Australia. There is a recurring hoax attempting to outlaw the substance dihydrogen monoxide, or water. On more than one occasion, government representatives from New Zealand, among others, have expressed support for this ban. New Zealand was the first country in the modern era to appoint an official wizard in 1990. A law states that every high school in New Zealand may keep 1 pound of uranium and 1 pound of thorium for nuclear experiments, but will be fined $1 million if there is a nuclear explosion. In New Zealand, there is a carnivorous giant albino snail. From 1867 to 1927, the New Zealand government foresaw shipwrecks by erecting supply-filled huts on remote islands. In New Zealand, there is a clock that has been running since 1864 despite never being wound manually. In New Zealand, there are no snakes. In New Zealand, most children begin school on their 5th birthday rather than at the start of the school year. Source: The Australian Constitution lists New Zealand as a state of Australia, and they have the option of joining the Australian Confederation if they so desire. The national basketball team of New Zealand is known as the Tall Blacks.